Hello, beautiful people. Welcome to Altcoin Daily with Bitcoin Gorilla. Today, altcoin we're going to be looking at is called Waxp. So, by the end of this video, you will understand what Waxp is because I'm going to be giving you the fundamental analysis and explaining even what the token does, you can use it for, and then we're going to go back and look at the technical analysis using simple price action. So, I'll be drawing the chart from scratch using the Bitcoin Gorilla's box strategy, and at the same time, no indicators will be used, so you will definitely understand what is happening when we start the explanation. So I remember Bitcoin Gorilla. Let's break down WAPS. So WAPS is currently trading at 0.416 cent, of which it has seen a downside of about 1.29% in the last 24 hours. Obviously you can see it at this chart here that is showing red, right? This is the last 24 hours in terms of volume that enters WAPs. So if we look closely, we see that WAPs current circulately supply is around 1.9 billion. Now, if we talk about the total supply is about 3,883,000,000 approximated, right? So with this little information in terms of statistics, I was able to find out, according to coin market cap, that the highest all-time high that this price has ever hit, that's the highest price range it has ever attained, is around $5 approximated, right? Now, the funny thing is it has lost about 91% of that move to $5 range because it's currently trading at zero point 0.4 range, right? So what about the all-time low? Well, in terms of the downside, the lowest it has ever seen is also around 2 years ago, December 2019. That was around the price range of 0.01596 cents. Now, with this little information about the price statistics, then what is WAPS? Now, WAPS is a proposed build blockchain released in 2017 that is designed to make e-commerce transactions faster, simpler, and safer for every party involved, both you, the seller, the buyer, and everybody. Just to make it simple, the Wax blockchain uses a delegated proof of work as its census mechanism. It is fully compatible with EOX. Now, the thing about Wax is that Wax features Wax to Ethereum bridge that allow Wax token holder to convert their tokens into WAXE, which is an Ethereum based ER20 utility token. Now, users willing to participate in Wax tokenomics needs to burn their Wax token in order to get WAXE, right? That's WAXE through the Ethereum bridge. This will then need to they will then need to stake the WAXE, the WAXE token on the Ethereum distributed contract. Now, if we go and look at the WAPS website, the Worldwide Assets Exchange is the world's most proven and eco-friendly blockchain for NFTs, video games, and collectibles. And this makes a marketplace quite easy. Anyone can build a marketplace with the help of WAPS. Now you can see big brands that are releasing their collectible through WAPs. You see, WAPs provide everything a brand needs to launch a successful NFT collectibles, from games and the apps to exchanges, digital marketplaces, and more. So whatever you are interested in building and launching, WAX makes it very easy. And again, one thing about Wax is in terms of launching NFTs, you can join the famous people like Tapon, Wax, Funko, and a lot of those to release on the top blockchain when it comes to NFT. So we're talking about NFT here, building games on Wax. We're talking about releasing your games through Wax, making e-commerce on your NFT platform very easy. You know what? This e-commerce, when it comes to selling your collectibles, you can build your own personal collectibles using a good e-commerce like WAP. So with all this being known, then what is the use of the token WAPs? Well, WAPS, also WAXP, has several real world applications that benefit consumers and the brand itself. This includes staking and voting. You see, unlike other blockchain that charges fees per transaction, WAX is shared resources that relies on users staking WAX as a means to reserve computing resources. When WAX is staked, it increases the scarcity of the token as it's set aside and stored until the user reclaims it and accurate, and the user will accumulate what rewards over time. Now another good thing it's used for is, like I said, NFTs. WAPs can be used to purchase NFTs by the largest NFT ecosystems of any blockchain, and as well as sell, right? So WAPs Lab, we're talking about WAPs Lab. Now when we look at WAPs Lab, what WAPs Lab does is it is a worker proposal system that allows developers to propose wax projects that are voted on by token stakers. Projects that are successfully voted, that wins the vote, will end up being launched and funded by the WAPS Lab. So this is what the WAPS Lab looks like. So if you want to apply, this is the process. It is all written down. So it is good for developers because they can actually build projects that the community votes on, which means the communities have agreed that this is going to be a successful project before it even goes to launch. And the funny thing is, you won't have to worry about funds because Wax will provide it. Now another thing I noticed about Wax is their advisory council, right? They say they have an advisory council, and this advisory council, I'm so sorry for the background noise. There's a church not far from my house, and the noise is crazy, so I do apologize for the noise in the background. If the echo is affecting you, I'm sorry about that. Now when we talk about the council that Wax has put in place, you find out they've selected some good people like Rich Whitman and Peter Debedenit, right? So all these people are from big tech companies like Google, Microscope, Marble, and just a lot, just to name a few, right? Unity, just to name a few. Now, if you want to learn more about their council, they say they put in this council in place so that blockchain, they believe, is the nuisance technology that has yet to find a stronghold in mainstream video gaming and entertainment. So, due to this, as a result of mixture of regulatory education and a lot of things, so they've decided to put in this wax council to drive adoption of wax blockchain by aligning their roadmap with input from leaders from prestigious global companies. So that's why they choose these people. So now that we know a little bit of what WAPS offers and how they intend to revolutionize and change how e-commerce functions, because their main focus is e-commerce, video games, and collectibles. So with this being known, let's look at the WAPS chart, because I am here for the money, I'm here for the bag. So let's look at the WAP chart. So we don't really have much to work with, because the token, this is Binance chart. The token just launched on Binance in 2021 August. So we have limited data to work with. This is why I'll be interchanging between the daily and the weekly chart. So I'm going to go ahead and get all my support and resistance mapped out. So these are my support and resistance. Remember, these are most important areas on your chart, which also represent demand and supply. Now, your support are your demand areas, and your resistance are your supply areas. So now that I've gotten my support and resistance, I want to go ahead and bring in the Bitcoin Gorilla box strategy, right? So I'll bring this strategy. Next thing I'm going to do is get the support area. So this is my support range on Wax, and this is my resistance. Now if you end up liking this strategy and you will want to know more about it, well, access is open right now to come and join Makaveli Traders, where I'm going to give you 3 months intensive training, and after the training you get to trade with me and the family for the rest of my life. It's a lifetime access, one time payment for a lifetime access. And not just that, you're going to have access to student dashboard and a lot of goodies. Now I have three types of membership. I have spot membership, I have futures, and I have staking. Now, when you come in, I'm going to train you. Now, access is only available 3 times in a year: January, May, and October. And currently, access is still open. I have limited number of people positions that are available, but I have 19 days before the door closes. Because why? I will go ahead and start training. You're going to get 3 months intensive training on how to use this Bitcoin Gorilla strategy, the rules, because this strategy comes with rules and regulation. If you want to learn more and also trade with me, because I share all my trade, I'm a high leverage trader. My name Bitcoin Gorilla comes from my trading style. If you want to know more about me, I trade 125x. You can visit the link I'm going to leave under this video so that you visit my website, MAKAVELI Traders, and learn more about me and my trading style and why you want to join MAKAVELI Traders. So let's jump right back and continue on this analysis. So I've gotten my support and resistance, which is, here's my what they are. This is my most important demand zone, and this is my most important supply zone. So now that I've gotten my demand and supply zone, I know there's some sort of things likely happening in this chart, because I see that since price got to my supply zone, it has returned and is yet to touch the demand zone. But there is something happening. So I'm going to try to contain drama that is happening the sideways. Let me show you. This is sideways. I want to contain that in a different box. So I'm going to contain that in a box. So and now I'm going to get the support and resistance of that box. Remember, I'm not using any indicator for this analysis, and I know it might look strange and not something you're not used to. But if you want to learn more, come to MAKAVELI Traders and I will teach you more about this. So that is my resistance supply area, and I'm going to go ahead and get my demand area as well. So I've gotten the demand area. I'm going to go ahead and bring the trend line now. Remember, I use two tools for all this drawing: the rectangular, um, the trend line and the rectangular tool. So if you look closely, this is the trend line that was clearly broken. So for me to understand this chart better, I need to see more data, right? So I'm going to zoom out. Remember, I did the drawing on weekly chart, so I'm going to zoom out, and this is what I'm saying on this chart. What I'm saying is clear, right? I need maximum of 2 touch on each trend line. So this is obviously a little gap here, but it's good to take it into consideration. Instead, I think I need to adjust my trend line a little bit. Now this is much better because it's obvious that we had a broken trend line. This is 1, this is 2, this is 3, this is 4, and we had that breakdown to the downside. Now mind you, this is daily chart. Now they tried to recover, but I see a double top here, right? So which means I needed to adjust my line, my box, a little up, because that's the top of the resistance area. So I can see that there's a double top that caused the rejection. That's double top, and we had something that looks like this, right? So now that I know that, but the thing is, the price is still within the support range, but how strong is this support, and can it hold up this current supply? Because one thing about support and resistance is once they are broken, they automatically turn in. Once a support is broken, it automatically becomes a resistance, and when a resistance is broken, it becomes a support. So in this situation, it was a support in the previous pass, but now that it's now broken, it's acting as resistance. That's why one of the reasons the rejection happened here. So the thing that I'm seeing here is this: the current position is looking like a double bottom, but I don't see this double bottom actually holding this bulls for some time. Can we get a bounce? Well, right now the way it is remember there's a sideways movement going on here. Now what I see two possibility playing out. I see a better chance of them getting a better demand when they step into this zone, which is the demand zone of the weekly chart. So they could likely hit down, right? So they could likely hit down, and they could likely make a double bottom with this range, right? This particular range. Now this is lower time frame. Let me get my line. So I'm going to take note of that. Very important. Now, remember, all this range is my demand range. So what I see is this. I see them having more demand, that a stronger output will come if they make a little push to the downside, which means they will have more force to go to the upside. right? So, but here's that is my first thought, right? But I'm just sharing my opinion with you. What you do with it is up to you. So the first thing I see them doing is this: there's chances, if I say the chances are not there of them moving up like this is not high, I'm lying, because already a support that played out here, it played out here, and in the past it played as resistance. So this point, of which is currently printing, but no clear, because what I'm seeing here, right here, what I'm seeing is there's no clear um candle printing any bullish sign on the support we are. Yes, this is my demand zone, but how strong is this demand zone likely going to move? Because here now is acting as a resistance range for the price, right? For the price. Here now is acting as a resistance range for the price. This point now is the new resistance range. So what this tells me is that this bulls are going to struggle. Even if they come back, they'll struggle at 0.5 range, right? So they could go, even if they go like this, they will get stopped here. One reason is now this line is acting as resistance, and this range is also acting as resistance. Don't forget the double top they made here that brought them all the way down. So it could move like this, right? And they could move up, but this chance, let me say, is like 65%. What I do see playing out in terms of 75% instead is this. I do see this playing out instead. I do see a move like this instead. Okay? I do see a move like this. Then they will now try. But when they are coming back up, they are going to encounter a lot of sideways, which means, but it they wouldn't they in fact, let me not, first is this point, because from this point they've entered the demand zone. Don't forget that from this point they've entered the demand zone. So depending on the sell pressure that is lying around this range, they could reach the 0.28 area. But this is the worst case scenario, right? As worst case scenario, they move like this, but I do see them moving instead like this. Once they come here, they will get pushed down. So we're going to have a little drama moving like a sideways. They'll come back up, they'll get pushed down, move like this. They can't get a straight move. The reason why they can't get a straight move is because of this sideways movement that is laying here. So once they break below the sideways movement, when they return, each point will become a resistance. Each point will become a resistance. So they're going to struggle, but once they are able to conquer 1 point, and sorry, I said 0.5, then they are able to break in to this point. They will attack this 0.7. Once they are able to conquer 0.5, they will get to 0.7. But it's not going to be a smooth ride. It's going to be a move like this. So 2022, it's not going to be an easy ride for WAPs, but I do see WAPs. If they can hold up this point, expect them to get to this point. But yet they have to conquer 0.5. So that's what I see coming on WAPs. The data is not much, but in terms of seller line, if I am to draw my seller line, so the seller line can also help us make a better decision, right? Right there. So the seller line could get something like this. So if they are able to maintain this point, then they will go like this, right? Like this. But remember, they will get attacked here. So expect an attack, a reaction before they will make that move to go back to that 0.69 range, right? That is if the seller line were to play out that we have, because we have already made two touches. In fact, adjusting that line shows that we could get this point. So that's 0.7. There's still the same range that I talked about with the box without even the seller line. So this is one, this is two touch on the seller's line, and the move up continues. But I really see a high chance of it getting to 0.35 to 0.38 range again. And I see them getting to that point. So have that at the back of your mind. So patience is needed. Remember, this analysis is done on higher time frame, weekly and daily chart. Thank you for watching. Subscribe if you like this strategy. I remember Bitcoin Gorilla. Happy trading.